Welcome back to the Pioneers Sideline. I'm your host, Chris Hoffman. The softball team was also in action this past week as well. We're going to take a look and see how they did coming into their weekend. We have our analyst here, Tim Hardy. Tim, the Pioneers, they were in action. We're going to take a look and see how they did. A big week for the Pioneers. A lot of conference action, a few out-of-conference games as well. But the Pioneers would be trying to keep the winning streak going, getting themselves back on track, getting ready for the KIAC play as we see there. Game 1 against Carlo, a loss 9-8, but they'd win Game 2. And then Games 1 and 2 of Asbury, both winning by the 8-run rule, winning in 5 innings, 9-1, 10-0. Teresa Davis with 6 RBIs, 2 home runs, and a grand slam in Game 2. She single-handedly was demolishing that team. And Tim, you see there, the first series against Asbury was close. 1-run, 2-run games. Second series, they come up here, and the Pioneers went hog wild on them.
Yeah, we see that definitely. We seen Asbury. I'm pretty sure it was by that road trip. Just like we said about Point Park going all the way down there. It's a long road trip. You might be off a little bit. But when they came all the way up here, Point Park showed them that home field advantage will be a key thing.
And then you look at it, Tim, this way too. When we've said all season, the Pioneer bats are on and the pitching is on. They're a great team, and you saw that there. 9-1, 10-0. When they get both out of this team, they can really do some damage on the field.
Yeah, they're great whenever they have both of them things going on for them. Definitely pitching and when it comes to hitting. Point Park softball is really on the run now if they keep doing that.
Now you see that they get 3 out of 4 this week, all in conference, moving into the weekend series they'd have against Midway. How big is that? I mean, they lose the first game against Carlo, a game they were leading into the 7th inning, but then all of a sudden the wheels came off, but they come back, defeat Carlo in Game 2, and then really send a statement to Asbury, winning those by pretty big margins.
Yeah, it was a big defeat there by the first game. Losing that close, it's a heartbreaker. But them coming in the second game, winning it is a really huge point. They showed they still had the mindset to come out there. It's a whole nother game. They end up winning that. Being able to sweep Asbury after that is very good. It was going good into the weekend.
Now the Pioneers did have a series this past weekend against Midway College. Let's take a look at Game 1 and see how the Pioneers did as they would try to continue their winning streak. And they would do just that once again, demolishing the Midway Eagles, 12-4 the final there. Ashley Moran, her bat, we questioned it before the game there. Not really a factor against Asbury, but man, was it a factor there. 3 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 runs, 3 RBIs. Danielle Durunda, 3 for 4, an RBI, a run, and 3 RBIs. Kay Reese got knocked around a little bit, only went 3 innings, but Tim, in the end, a win's a win, and again, they do it in 5 innings, saving the pitching, and again, sending a statement to the rest of the KIAC.
Yeah, they really showed their dominance in that game. Definitely 2 home runs in 1 game, and the softball game is really huge for Point Park. So they was able to show a lot of things going into the game. And that pitching, even though it was a little risky, she came out in the 3rd innings for Reese. It shows she gets more experience as it goes on, and she had her help with the batting behind her.
And you see that there, Tim. In 3 straight games, the Pioneers winning in 5 innings. How big is it? That's 6 innings of ball. They're saving their pitchers from throwing.
Oh, that's wonderful when it comes to softball. If you end up saving your pitchers, that means they can relieve more games and also a lot more fresh going into games going in the future. They're not really stressed out. And also they can rely a lot on their batting then, because if their pitching is doing just decent, their batting will come through for them.
The Pioneers will play one more game against the Midway Eagles. Let's take a look and see how the Pioneers did in that one as well as they try to go for the weekend sweep, go 4 for 4 on the weekend, and heck, why not? They do just that, and again, winning by 8 runs. Now, this one we go to the 6th inning before the Pioneers would get the 8-run rule. But still, Ashley Moran comes in. She'd hit another home run. She had 2 runs on the day, 3 RBIs. Sarah Guffey, 3 for 4, a run, 2 RBIs. Zelenka pitches the whole game, gives up 2 runs on 4 hits. And Tim, the pitching, the bats, it was there all weekend.
Yeah, definitely, Chris. When it comes to the pitching and the bats, you had a dominant pitcher in Zelenka, really showing her dominance, only allowing 2 hits throughout the 6 innings. So she really showed it, but also the bats was coming through for them. They wasn't looking so well because they was keeping up, but then Point Park showed that they can really hit it off the bat.
Now let's take a look at the road ahead here for the Pioneers as they finished up their season. Not really a lot of in-conference left, just one more weekend series this coming weekend against Alice Lloyd and Brescia. They play Salmon and Nashville this week, then the KIAC tournament. Real quick, Tim, what do you see the Pioneers doing this week?
I can see them going undefeated after seeing how they went throughout the weekend, only allowing 5 innings to 6 innings. It means a lot of people are fresh, and that means they're also feeling really good. The batting's finally coming through for them, so I can see Point Park going undefeated.
Thanks for analysis, Tim. We're going to go to another commercial break, but then right back, we'll be back with our rugby segment of the week as they come in, well, I should say rugby interview for this coming week. As they step in the studio, we talked to them about one of the new sports you really see picking up a trend here on campus. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Pioneer Sideline.